All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. We are coming to you live here from the PhD Speed Gaming event in Chicago, Illinois, bringing you all the cool board game coverage all day long. And right now, I am joined with Josh from Ultra Pro. How you doing today, Josh?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
So, Josh, I see you've got something big and very primary color set up on the board here right now. What have you brought to show off to us today?
So, got a couple things to show off today, and the first and foremost is going to be a game that is planning to come out towards the end of this season, early next season. We're looking at Costume Party Assassins. Costume Party Assassins is basically a take on Clue, but in reverse, where instead of people trying to find out who the killer is, everyone's the killer, and the way you find out who the other person is they start assassinating other members at this costume party.
Okay.
Couple things that I love about it is very simple to play, very simple to teach, and personally, I am a huge fan of the artwork. So if you want to go ahead and put some of these under...
Absolutely. So we've got the princess guest there. So, and all of these have their corresponding meeple too, which I really love. That you have the traditional artwork on the top left, as well as the picturization of the meeple that you see on the board as well.
Exactly. And both of these are,
if you there,
take a look, they're all on both sides. So meeples are very easy to set up. You don't have to flip over to one side or anything like that. Saves a lot of the setup time.
Okay, so here's a few more. We've got Sherlock, we've got an astronaut. I'm going to show off Frankenstein's monster, but he's going to be see-through, so it's going to be kind of funny. So there we go. See-through Frankenstein's monster. That is green, I promise.
Nice.
And then here we've got a pirate. So a lot of your traditional costume party tropes that you see there.
Of course. This one's been shown off in kind of a smaller scale at a couple of events. Mm-hmm. I have heard nothing but positive praise for this game. I adore it to pieces myself, and it's always been something whenever we bring it out that has seemed to bring together gamers and non-gamers alike.
So talk to me a little bit about like the theme of the game. I know we're at a costume party here and people are killing each other. Is this kind of like a comedy take on it, or
it kind of is a comedy take, and you'll feel that while you're playing, because as you can see right here, the die is multicolored, mm-hmm. and the colors just refer to either the rooms that you can move your characters in and out of,
okay,
or when it comes to black, it's when you kill off another member. And so you have to find your meeple, you have to kill someone in the room with your meeple. That's when people can start narrowing down who you are. But the funny thing is, if you're rolling black and you're killing someone who's in the room that your meeple's in, mm-hmm. if your meeple's the only one there, you may have slipped on your knife.
Oh, you have to actually off yourself?
You have to off yourself.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yes. So it gets kind of fun and silly towards the end when people know who everyone is and is either trying to isolate them or bring them into their own room to kill them. It's great.
I can see there being a lot of fun by introducing like a homebrew story mechanic where you're talking about how you slipped on your knife and accidentally stabbed yourself, and that's the end of me as the assassin.
It's like, oh well, you've seen Hamlet before, right? You've read Hamlet. You know how this works. It's got a lot of those silly story elements. At the end of the game, you'll remember back on those silly events that happen that cause someone to win or lose, or even just someone to be found out.
So. Absolutely, and the game's got a super cute table presence too, with the big primary color rooms and
mm-hmm.
the, of course, the silly meeples, the funny dressed meeples there.
Of course. And the great thing is, even though the theme is murder, it's very easy to retell that story in a younger age group by changing that from, killing to taking out of the party.
Right. And even still, it doesn't seem like it's murder. It's murder.
Exactly. Now, I do have one other game that I would like to show off just briefly.
Sure thing.
This is a game that I'm going to be demoing tonight to a lot of the people coming in to visit PhD, mm-hmm.
And
that is a game called Fightin Words. There we go.
Switch over to the main cam there. So we got Fightin Words here.
So Fightin Words is a really ingenious way to mix two of the world's most popular game types, mm-hmm. poker and word games.
Okay.
So instead of you being dealt a hand of poker cards, tens and jacks,
Your traditional 52 cards there, yeah.
you're dealt a hand of letters.
Oh, that's interesting. And
Um,
if you pass me one of those, I could show off that in the camera over there. So this is an example of one of the letter cards, just a big ol' N there. A U. So
Now you can see that there are a couple different things on those cards. You
Right.
have the letter themselves. You have what would be a suit. We have 3 suits in the game,
Okay.
and you do gain benefits from playing flushes. And you also have points for the letters, and it plays much like Texas Hold'em. There are 2 cards dealt in the center, or 2 cards dealt to each person. There's a flop and a river and things like that. And you actually get to bet. And we have little chips here.
So it kind of keeps that Wild West saloon feel to it when you're playing Texas Hold'em.
Exactly. But what makes things a little different is we also have wanted posters that will change how the game plays midway through. So you'll see
This is wanted here. 4-letter max. That's funny.
for not allowing words to be longer than 4 letters. So that really curtails exactly how many points you can get with that one. Or, let's see here. Double mint gummy.
For doubling the value of the second letter in a word.
Yeah, because he's only got 1 tooth, so the second thing is very important to him. So you'll see people just, I had this great word. The second letter was a 1-point letter. We're gonna have to change everything up, and so I really like that it gives people like myself who are terrible spellers. Oh my goodness! But it gives us a kind of a balance in there. It makes us feel less like we're put on the back foot and more like we have to have some strategy.
Right, there's a little bit of like a puzzle strategy element to it there.
Exactly. But
So-
don't worry, spellers, you're still gonna be pretty good in this one.
Gotcha. So, just a rundown of how we're going to play that then. You have 2 cards to yourself. Here you have the traditional cards that are flipped over like Texas Hold'em. We're betting the entire time. And then we're trying to make words based off of the communal pool of letters and then what's in our hand as well.
Exactly. So to begin with, there will be 3 cards, and you have a chance to fold at that point.
Okay.
Then the modifier, the wanted poster is flipped, and then 2 more cards are flipped. You'll bet again, or you can fold.
Oh, the wanted poacher comes out halfway through.
Exactly.
Oh, man,
so
okay.
that could throw a monkey wrench into any word.
Yeah.
And at that point, you still have to decide, hey, am I going to be using most of the letters on the board? Am I going to be using the letters in the hand mostly? And the cool thing is, there are 7 letters total. You can use all 7 letters. I saw a guy walk away with a ridiculous amount of points, something like 30 points for spelling fragile.
Ah, fragile.
Fragile.
It is Italian after all.
I believe it is. I believe it is. I felt proud of it. I was like, don't you have 2 letters in hand? Can't you? And fragile.
Oh, man.
It crushed that round. The cool thing though, unlike Scrabble or Words with Friends or other different types of word games, as soon as you take the pot, your advantage from that huge word is over. So you're never feeling like you're so far behind because they made this one great word with a Z and a Q.
Right.
And how did they do that? Nope. Well, let's start up fresh. We're all going to bet.
And then you still kind of get more strategic elements as well from your bluffing that you're going to get from your kind of traditional poker play then too, I'm assuming, right?
Exactly.
All right, very cool. So, what's some of your favorite aspects about fighting words there?
I personally like the fact that it does give that leg up to people like myself. I don't spell very well, or I don't unscramble words very well. But when I have an objective, my objective is to use as many vowels as possible, or my objective is to make sure that the second letter in the word is the highest point value.
Right.
Then I can start from there and work backwards. And,
Gotcha.
and that's where I find I excel.
And it gives you kind of a different take than traditional word games, as you were saying
Exactly,
before.
exactly.
So, what is the win condition on that game? Is it just whoever gets all of the betting tokens at the end, or?
So here's the second round of tokens. I'm gonna have you put a couple of these underneath as well.
Sure thing.
When I discuss the flushes,
the suits of the cards there.
one of the things that happens when you're playing the the flushes, and that would be anything with 3 or more of one suit. You also get one of those tokens.
Okay.
The first player to get at least 7 tokens, that's when the game ends.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
get paid out actually a couple of these 5 gold chips.
Right.
And then the game ends. Everyone counts up their money. This is also why the game puts a limit on how much you can bet in. You can't just, I'm all in. As
Gotcha.
much as you would like to, because you're playing the word queso. It really limits the fact that one person will take a runaway lead from that one word. But this is also an alternate win condition, which is always good.
Very cool. All right, so where can we find Fightin' Words?
Fighting Words should be at your local game store. If it's not,
Ask
obviously,
for it, right?
Just ask for it. We'll make sure to get it out there.
And what's the price point that we're looking at on Fightin' Words?
Price point would be $35. I want to say $35.
Don't quote you on it 100%, though.
Don't. It may be 30.
Okay.
We may have changed it.
So, I mean, that might have been a deal then that you're giving. Then.
Yes.
All right, so how about Costume Party Assassins? Where
Costume
can we
Party
find
Assassins is $30.
that? Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right, so is there anything else that you want to say about either Costume Party Assassins or Fightin' Words today?
Yeah, if you're here in town, if you're here at the event, please feel free to stop by the booth, and we'll get a demo to you. We'll at least look at some of the pieces, and other than that, boatloads of fun.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today, Josh. We really do appreciate it. And thank all of you for watching at home. Stay tuned for more coverage throughout the day here at the PhD Speed Gaming event in Chicago. But signing off for now, I'm Matt as usual. Thanks again, Josh.
Thank you.
Take care.